Today I'm going to be showing you how I made my 2025 seed starting schedule for my microflower farm. Hi, I'm Melissa and welcome to my channel. My channel is all about flower farming, slow living, and all the things I love, so if any of those things interest you, be sure to subscribe. I'm getting so excited for starting my seeds this year, and so I thought it would be perfect to take you guys along to show you how exactly I made my seed starting schedule. So I have usually done this kind of haphazardly and not planned it out super well, and that has not been very good and made some things come in a lot later than necessary. So this year I wanted to make sure I really made a good plan. If you hear any strange noise, that's just the wind outside. It is freezing cold. The wind has been like 50 miles an hour for 2 days, and I've really been enjoying this winter. It's been cozy and stuff, but as of now, I'm definitely over it and ready for spring to come and just get my seeds started. And I'm so excited for the ones that I'm going to be starting in just a few weeks now. So as you can see, my system is pen and paper. I am just not a huge fan of digitally planning things. I love having a physical copy that I actually can hold, feel more real and more exciting to me, which might be silly, but that's just how I am. So if that doesn't work for you, of course, you can use this same method, but on a digital platform. Whatever works. So the first thing you're going to do is, of course, gather all your seeds that you are growing. You cannot make a schedule unless you have the packets so that you can read exactly when you should germinate them, etc. So because I already did this, mine are all here in this nice little box organized, which of course I'm going to get into how exactly I did this. If you are unfamiliar with farming at all, I just wanted to show you that the back of the packet always says exactly the planting direction. So I should take that back. There are a few companies that are not good about putting the specific instructions, but for these companies, you can just easily Google them and find the instructions online. And this is super important because if you don't have the instructions, you won't know which date to start them. The second thing you're going to do is you are going to calculate your last frost date. This is really easy to do. You just Google it online and you can put in your zip code and it will tell you when your last frost date is. I'm going to actually switch to an aerial shot so I can go over my seed starting schedule with you guys, and it'll be a just clear review. Okay, so to go over this layout, I have my last frost date written up along the top, and then from there I just calculated the most common increments of time that seeds are usually required to be planted before your last frost, which are usually 4, 6, 8, 10, when your soil can be workable, which are things that you would be direct sowing. And then of course there's the things that would be being planted after your last frost, which of course I have a column for as well. So as you can see, I made the columns for all of the corresponding dates and then written them along the top. And now the next step, you are going to go through all of your seeds and write down exactly which varieties need to be planted at which week before your last frost. So I'm going to use one of these packets as an example because Johnny's is super good about putting the directions on the back. So as you can see, there's all sorts of information back here. So usually there's two different options. There is the direct sowing option versus the starting inside, aka transplanting. So as you can see, this one is 5 to 7 weeks before last frost, and this is a Versailles Cosmos. So this is what you're going to do for all of your seed packets, and then you're going to come back and write them on the corresponding date. So my schedule is all filled out now. These are all of the things I'm growing. Something I wanted to add is that it is a common thing on the packets to also have varieties that need to be planted outside directly into the ground 2 to 4 weeks before your last frost. So I added that column as well over here. It is also important to mention that some of these things are not cut and come again varieties. So therefore they need to be planted at 2 or so week increments so that you have continual blooms. And that is a separate schedule I would make, but this is just my seed starting schedule for the spring. So now you have a nice bird's eye view of exactly what you need to do. And then from there, you are going to separate your seed piles. So let's move on to that step. As I stated before, I have already done this. This is a second copy for me that I just wanted to make sure I had everything on because I had bought a few new varieties. So I have already organized my piles. So what you would do, and the system I used, is I put a sticky note on the stack of all the things that corresponded with the start date of March 14th. And then I did that for all of the other weeks as well. I think this is just a super easy way to keep them all organized, and then they're just ready to go. I have them all lined up in here so they're easy access, and then I have all of my seeds that are direct sow somewhere else just because there was a lot of them due to all the sunflowers and they take up a lot of space. So that's my process. I hope it made sense. I think it's very simple and easy and not too complicated, but of course some things make sense in our minds and then to other people they don't. So if this planning strategy works for you, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you sometime.